What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick and Plays for Friday, August 30th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG, one word, at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app to get a up to $1,000 deposit match bonus. However much you put in, up to $1,000, they're going to match it with bonus funds. But that's all for Underdog for now. There's so much good stuff on the app right now. I've got an extra play today. So I've got my show slip. I've got the Dong Squad like every other day. But then I've also got an extra slip for Saturday college football action. There's so much happening on the Underdog app. And I just want to take advantage of all of it and share it with the guys that listen, the guys and gals that listen and watch this every day. Last Friday, I did a Saturday college football slip because I was so excited for the season getting underway. Today, I just can't overlook the opportunities we've got in tennis, but I didn't want to neglect what we have on Saturday. So if you want to mix and match some of these picks, feel free, choose your favorites, put them all together, put a couple of them together, whatever you want to do. There is just a ton of options on the Underdog app right now if you're a prop bettor or a pick'em player. All right, so we're going to start off with Jiri Lehecka versus Andrey Rublev. Jiri Lehecka is a young player who is very talented, who's got an amazing serve when he's on his game, and he's super athletic, he's super fast, he runs down the court, and he hits the ball really hard, a really good forehand. It's not like a Tsitsipas or like that type of level of forehand yet, but it's pretty close. And again, when he's serving well, he is amazing. And also, Andrey Rublev has obviously been really up and down this year, hasn't been taking care of the ball on his serve, hasn't necessarily been a great defensive player either. I think that Lehecka can definitely win a couple sets in this one and push it. I think that he can also win this match. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls it off. I have a feeling that we're going to have a slog. It's going to be back and forth. Higher than 37 games played. That means probably going to need 4 sets to do it, unless there was 3 sets, all tie breaks. But I think 4 sets is definitely in the forecast for this one. Both guys are going to take at least one home, and I think that we're going to get at least 1 tiebreak in here as well. So we have a really good shot at getting higher than 37 games played in that match of Jiri Lehecka against Andrey Rublev. So the pick is Andrey Rublev, higher than 37 games played. That one starts at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, so that is the first pick of the day. Next, we're going 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going with my guy, Juncheng Shang, Jiri Shang against Casper Ruud. Casper, the friendly Norwegian, is an amazing tennis player on clay. He is beatable on any other surface by players that are much lower rated than him, who are much less accomplished than him. Jiri Shang is that dude. Jiri Shang is a clay court or a hard court specialist. He's held up pretty well so far, fitness-wise, at the tournament. And there was just a hard-fought match by Casper Ruud against Gael Monfils. It went 4 sets. Monfils obviously taxed Ruud, and Ruud had to pull some crazy shots out of his you-know-what to win that match in 4 sets. Shang is coming off of a 3-0 set win against Pablo Carreno Busta, so he should be a little bit fresher than Ruud here. And again, on this surface, throw the ratings out the door. Yes, Ruud has done good on hard courts before, but this is a fast hard court. Shang's mobility, Shang's serve are going to be key here. And when I talk about Shang's serve, I'm not talking about high velocity, high power. I'm talking about lots of RPMs on that ball, massive kick, and really good placement. So higher than 1.5 sets lost for Casper Ruud here. Next, we got to go to the best man in the world, Novak Djokovic. Maybe not the best right now in the world, but among the top 3 in the world right now, and the greatest greatest active tennis player in tennis right now. Novak Djokovic versus Alexei Popyrin. Popyrin has had a nice little run in the last couple weeks. He's benefited for a lot of the top players being in the Olympics. He's benefited from a lot of those players being in an Olympic hangover after coming back from the Olympics and sitting out of some of these tournaments. Popyrin won in Montreal. Good for him. Novak Djokovic can wipe him off the court. I'm taking Djokovic, safe play, lower than 1.5 sets lost. I think 3-1 is about as good as it could get for Popyrin and loss. So Novak Djokovic higher or lower than 1.5 sets lost against Alexei Popyrin. Last one, we're going to Aryna Sabalenka again, lower than 19 games play against Ekaterina Alexandrova. Ekat is a really good server. She's a really strong server, but she's just been so inconsistent this year. I don't trust her to hold her service games. This number's at 19 because most people expect Sab to win in straights, which is fair. I definitely think she'll win in straights. But it's at 19 because they think that Ekat's going to be able to hold her serve pretty well. I do not trust her to hold her serve against Sabalenka. Sabalenka's putting so much pressure on her opponents right now. I think that she can roll through this, and we can see this like Sabalenka's last match, which was like 15 total games played. Maybe it's a 6-3 and then it's like a 6-2, depending on who serves first and all that good stuff. So Sabalenka, lower than 19 games played. These three plays together come together for a 4.66x multiplier. Those are Lehecka versus Rublev, higher than 37 games played. Casper Ruud, higher than 1.5 sets lost. Novak Djokovic versus Alexei Popyrin. Novak Djokovic, this one is lower than 1.5 sets lost. And the last one, Aryna Sabalenka, lower than 19 games played against Ekaterina Alexandrova for a 4.66x multiplier. All right. I talked a little bit about the sponsor at the beginning. I've got some season-long college football sweats that are already underway right now. I had RJ Harvey higher than 900.5 rushing yards on the season. He had his first game on Thursday. He had 142 yards on 11 carries. That is 15.7% of what we need in 8.3% of his games played. So I love to see that ahead of schedule against a very weak opponent in New Hampshire. Obviously, it's not always going to be that easy. So you've got to bank those yards against those opponents when you're playing these season-long picks, especially when you have an over, because obviously injuries can hurt you. So you really want to get the efficiency in the games where it's allowed. Other good news in our season-long slip is Brant Kuthi of the Utah Utes, tight end, had 4 catches for 69 yards. We need 501 yards out of him this season. That's 13.77% of his yards we need in 8.3% of his games. So love that pace as well. Again, these guys can get banged up. They can miss a game here or there. So you really want to be trying to hit these yardage numbers early and often and just get ahead of that number as soon as possible. We have our NFL our NFL season-long picks as well. Those numbers are all still pretty good. So check out that show. That will be at the end of this YouTube video. And if you're on the podcast app, just scroll back a couple, probably 5-7 shows, something like that. 5 shows. It came out on Sunday. So you can find the NFL picks there. I think we're going to get some good CLV on those ones as well, which is closing line value by the time the NFL season starts next week. And there are still a couple college football plays that I like out there. I like Aronde Gadsden higher than 599.5 receiving yards. We got 549.5 or 550.5 a couple weeks ago, but I think it's still playable. All right, let's get to a college football 3-leg pick'em slip for Saturday. We're going all day here. We're gonna take Ricky White, wide receiver for UCLA, higher than 80, or not UCLA, UNLV, for higher than 87.5 receiving yards against Houston. Houston's in full rebuild mode. I don't trust their defense. Ricky White is a legit wide receiver, probably an NFL wide receiver. He has had a ton of successful games. He had 100+ receiving yards in 7 games last season, and that was after he wasn't even close to hitting that number in the first 2. So he really turned it on late last year. He had 97 yards in the bowl game against Kansas as well. They have a new quarterback situation at UNLV, but the new guys came in from FCS. They're accomplished passers there. I think Sluka is who's going to be the starter. He's got one job: get the ball to Ricky White. Ricky White is a target monster. He's a yardage monster. He is just a offensive production machine at the wideout position. 87.5 receiving yards. I'm going over against Houston in this revamped team. Yes, Willie Fritz is now the coach. Yes, Willie Fritz is a pretty good coach and can get some good defenses going. He ain't going to do it in game 1 against an elite player like Ricky White. Next, we're going to Kyron Drones of Virginia Tech, higher than half of a rush or receiving touchdown. Again, or not Kyron Drones, actually. We're going to Baishul Tutin, who is the running back for Virginia Tech, higher than half of a rushing plus receiving touchdown against Vanderbilt. He had 12 touchdowns last year. I think Virginia Tech is going to take care of business. They're a veteran team. Their defense is going to shut down Vandy, and they're going to run the ball often on offense. I think Tootin is going to get one in here. I think that the Vanderbilt runs away with this game. So I really like their starting running back to get across the line and score a touchdown. Last one, we're going with a quarterback here. Lenora Sellers, South Carolina running back or quarterback, new starting quarterback. They're higher than half of a rush plus receiving touchdown against Old Dominion. Old Dominion stinks. Sellers is a really big athletic quarterback. He is going to have to use his legs to just kind of set the tone for this team. I think that he's going to be able to break one, probably about a 15-yard run into the end zone, or even a sneak, because he is big, about 240 pounds. I think I saw him listed at. Obviously, take college media guide weights with a grain of salt. But Lenora Sellers, touchdown, rushing or receiving against Old Dominion for the South Carolina Gamecocks. These three plays come together for a 4.5x multiplier. All right, last one. We are going to the Dong squad. We're taking John Kensey Noel versus Bailey Falter in the Pirates. You're getting Falter and you're getting that Pirates bullpen. You've seen the Pirates bullpen lately, right? It is terrible. Give me John Kensey on this one. Sign it up. Noel of the Guardians against the Pirates, higher than half a home run. Anthony Santander versus Austin Gomber at Coors Field. Another one. Sign me up. Don't have to convince me. Let's take it. Last one. Paul Goldschmidt versus Marcus Stroman and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Give me that short porch. Give me Marcus Stroman, the contact pitcher, a pitcher that Goldschmidt's got 3 dongs off of in his career. Goldie's performing under the bright lights of New York. Love to see it. If this goes 3 for 3, you get 45.2x your money. If it goes 2 out of 3, you get 8.23x. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for checking out the show. Let's make some money.